Welcome to Real Racing TV, top asphalt blistering 3/10 of a mile madness from our very own Southside Speedway. Stay tuned for interviews, tech talk, and some outstanding racing. Greats like Bobby Allison and Denny Hamlin cut their teeth on these four corners. Be prepared for an awesome show. And now, here is your host, Sean Cook.
Welcome back to Real Racing TV, folks. We are on the sacred asphalt of Southside Speedway with owner, entrepreneur, and real lifeblood of Southside Speedway, Sue Clements. Say hi to the audience, Sue.
Hey, how are you?
No, you got to look at them. They're over there.
Oh, okay. Hi.
Now, listen, this lady here, without this lady here, this track would not be here. Would you say that was true, Sue?
Well, no, I wouldn't take all of the credit for that. I felt when back in 2003, the last year that tenants were here leasing the track and they were not apparently going to come back, I just felt from then that somehow or another the gates had to stay open. So I came back.
Now, your father was the one that not actually started this track. He bought this track as Royal Speedway in 1949. Is that correct?
That's exactly right. No, he bought it in 1957.
Okay.
His first race as Southside Speedway was in 1959.
So from 1949 to 1959, it was owned by different management?
It was owned by a man who literally, I think at that point, leased out a track that they called Royal Speedway. It was run by Nelson Royal. And then when my father bought the land from the owner of the land, the little track was here, and that's how Southside Speedway came about. It was a dirt track, from what I think I have heard in the past. And then when Daddy took it over, he asphalted it and named it Southside Speedway.
Now, folks, Southside Speedway is synonymous with NASCAR, even though you're not actually a NASCAR-sanctioned track. But some of the greats that have come through here, some of the racing greats like Bobby Allison, in fact, I was wondering if you could tell us who's going to be on the show next Sunday, people. Next Sunday, you got to tune in. This is going to be an amazing race. Tell us a little bit about next Sunday's show.
Okay, next Sunday's show, we'll have Denny Hamlin.
Denny Hamlin, folks. If you don't know who he is, then you obviously aren't reading the newspaper. The number 11 FedEx car, Nextel Cup driver, coming down to his home track.
Yes, this is his home track. Curtis Markham, who is a past champion here at Southside Speedway and is the spotter now for Denny Hamlin.
And I hear you've got some more exciting news. Even more amazing drivers are coming down here. Tell us a little bit more about what's developed this last week.
Just this last week, I found out that Bugs Harefield will be here. He brought his car that he won the track championship in 1992. He has got that car fixed up. He tested here last Thursday, and he will indeed be in competition out here. His son, Chris Harefield, will drive now.
And Roy Hendrick.
And Roy Hendrick and his son, Brandon Hendrick. So we've got two generations.
So we are so excited. I'm sure the viewers at home are excited about this race that basically you put together. You've had some help from Buck Roos and some other people. But this is one of the most exciting races I think probably this track and possibly any other track in the United States has ever seen. We are so excited. Is there any kind of an incentive, like a bigger purse or anything? Or why are these guys coming down to Southside Speedway to race? Is it because you're enticing with a lot of money?
No, that's not it at all. This is truly the dedication of these drivers. Now, going back to Roy Hendrick and to Bugs Harefield, back when their fathers were here, Ted Harefield and Ray Hendrick were here. That was back in my father's early days, and these men now were little boys and grew up here, and they passed their love for this track on into their children, and it's just a family here. I keep saying that to everybody. It's just a family.
That is incredible, folks. Well, this is the wonderful lady that is making all this possible. A lot of the viewers at home are probably looking at this going, well, that's kind of a funny fit, a rough and tough track like Southside Speedway and a very beautiful, wonderful lady like you running it. Has anybody ever commented, that's a weird mix? What are you doing running a racetrack?
I don't know. I really don't know. I felt when I first started in 2004 that I may be intimidating to some people, but nobody has ever looked at me as being, female. I've just I think it just all goes back. I my family is here. My family. This is basically where I was raised. My sister is here in the concessions. She was back here originally back in the early '60s when Daddy had just opened the track in '59. Patsy was here with the concessions back
Patsy
then.
is another awesome lady. I love Patsy. She's so cool. And your daughter and your granddaughter and all the people from the church who do the concessions.
Yes, Bethia Church is my family's church, and we have a lot of our people who work here in the concession stands, in the ticket offices. We're just a big family here.
Well, folks, I'm not going to discourage you from watching the show. You got to watch the show, but also you got to come down to Southside Speedway too, right, Sue?
Yes, please come. I hear a lot of times people say, well, I haven't been there in 30 years. Well, please come back again now and see what we're doing. We have an awful lot of good racing.
Well, folks, the real reason that I'm doing this TV show is so I can race, okay? Now, Sue, all these great drivers are coming down here. Denny Hamlin, Bugs Harefield, Roy Hendrick, all these legends of racing. I want to race against them. Will you give me permission to race against them?
Well, okay, you caught me a little off guard here. Well, Sean, these are drivers, these are late model drivers.
I understand that, Sue.
And you are in the street stock division. I'm just not sure.
Are you trying to say I don't have the experience?
Well, I've been in the car with you once myself, and you scared me badly, but well, I just don't know that you would be able to be on the track with, we're talking about Denny Hamlin is going to be here. And
I understand that, but that's why I want to race. And I can drive a car, Sue. I don't know how I can prove it to you. I can tell you right now, I can get around this track just as good, if not better, than Denny Hamlin himself.
Okay. Well, if you, let's just say if you can do better than 16 seconds, we'll give
16
you a try.
seconds. Come on, 17. 16 seconds. There's the proper racer. I've just got a little BMW with a 4-cylinder engine.
Yeah.
Can you make it 17 seconds?
Well, no, I don't hardly think so. I mean, you've got to remember these guys are going in the mid to low 14s, and
Yes, but I'm just driving a street car, Sue. This isn't a race car. This is just a street car. You're not going to move. You're telling me if I can get around this track in 16 seconds or less, I can race next Thursday and be on the show next Sunday?
Okay, find a car. We'll see what you can do.
Well, I got to beat the 16 seconds, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay, folks, if I can beat the 16-second mark and somebody else out there has a limited late model stock car, which is the kind of race cars they race.
That's right.
And they will let me drive it, but first of all, I got to try and beat this track, baby. So watch me in the Beamer trying to beat 16 seconds. Sue Clements, thank you for the opportunity, and maybe I'll get to race them myself. Yow! All right, Sue, how did I do? Sue's been timing me. What did I do, Sue?
Okay, you were 20 seconds, Sean.
20 seconds?
20
You got to be
seconds,
kidding me. You just don't want me to race. That's what it is.
No. Now, I tell you, I think it's your car, and you don't have the proper tires on it. So
You don't think it's my driving? Come on, you can be honest with me, Sue.
No, it's not your driving at
Okay.
all. And I want you to know I timed you with the time watch here that I have not had out here in 30 years. But this was my father's.
I am honored.
timing, and this is the first time I've ever done this in 30 years. Isn't that something that I just happened to have it out here today?
I think maybe we got somebody upstairs looking out for us, don't you?
I think so. I think that's the case always.
The thing that I love about racing is, first of all, they say the prayer, the racer's prayer, then they say the national anthem, and then they go out there and try and kill each other, and then afterwards they're all friends again. Isn't that beautiful?
That's exactly right. They're all friends. They are. Every now and then there may be a little disturbance, but in the long run, come Monday or certainly by Tuesday, everybody's fine again.
Well, folks, it doesn't look like I'm going to get to run against Denny Hamlin unless I can get some new tires. And I mean, I still got to beat that 16-second mark, and maybe I can get out here this week. But right now, it's not looking good.
I will make calls. I know some people who've got some cars sitting around, and I'll make some calls and see
All right,
what
folks,
we can do.
stay tuned next Sunday to see the outcome of my racing adventures. Stay tuned. All right, folks, we are down here with Junie Donlavey. I'm sure everybody knows who this wonderful gentleman is. Now, Junie, I think you got some big news. What happened 3 weeks ago, buddy?
3 weeks ago.
Was it 3 weeks ago? Something big happened. I heard about it on the news.
Oh, yeah, something big did happen. I was inducted into the Hall of Fame in Talladega, and it's something I never ever really thought would ever happen. But it was a real experience, and I'm glad I had a chance to go through it.
Well, Mr. Donlavey, on behalf of all of our viewers and everybody involved with Real Racing TV and all of the people who race at Southside and Virginia Motor Speedway and Langley, we all want to say congratulations. And if there's a man who deserves it on this planet, it's you, with all of the hard work you put into racing. Now, look, I've got a little thing you gave me here, and I counted up the number of drivers who've driven the number 90 car as 63 drivers, including Roy Hendrick, including Joe Weatherly, some of the great names of racing that have driven your cars. Tell us a little bit about the experiences you've had over the last 50 years in racing.
Well, I tell you, the thing about racing is the best thing about it is dealing with all the people that I've dealt with. And I've met people all over the country, and they were just first class, and all the drivers I had, we had a good time running. We never had the big equipment that the factory teams had, but we had more fun by far than any of them.
Now, if you could do it all again, Mr. Donlavey, and you could be the President of the United States, the President, wouldn't you trade it all in to be the President of the United States?
Nope, I wouldn't trade what I've done in my life for nothing.
You've had a good time.
I have had the best time that anyone could ever have.
Ray Hendrick, who's Roy Hendrick's dad, raced for you, right?
Yep. I never had Roy, but I had his daddy driving for us. And we've had so many good drivers out there, Ron Harris, and it was just so many out there, and they put on such a good show out there. I go out there and I walk around and think back in we ran a race out there back in 1949. And I walk around, and it takes me back a lot of years, and I had more fun out there than anything that I could ever have done.
So you were there back when it was Royal Speedway in 1949.
49 was the first race we ran on.
Now, this is the 06 car.
No, yeah, upside down, but it was 90 before he flipped it.
Now, how did you get past or who was driving it?
Kenneth Schrader was driving it, and he led it up to the fourth turn on the last lap, leading it, and tied up, just got touched a little bit and flipped it, landed on Harrigan's hood, and Harrigan took him across the start-finish line. And poor Harry hadn't finished the race all year. And then if we didn't beat Harry in the lineup.
So Harry Grant took the number 90 car across the start-finish line on his hood.
Right on his hood.
But he got a finish.
He got a finish.
Well, congratulations on being admitted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame, people. Watch next Sunday for some serious racing from the toughest track in the South, Southside Speedway. All right, folks, we're down here at Mid-Atlantic Controls Corporation, which is where Buck Roos, the voice of Real Racing TV, works, and he's also convinced his boss to buy a late model race car. Now, how did you do that, Buck?
Oh, he's ready to race all the time. He actually owns a late model stock car, this late model sportsman car, and one of the grand stocks at Southside Speedway as well.
Buck, you know a lot about Denny Hamlin. You're involved with his fan club. You do his website. Tell us a little bit about who Denny Hamlin is and why he's coming to Southside Speedway this Thursday night. And folks, Sunday we're going to see it on TV, but he's actually racing this Thursday.
That's right. Denny's just an amazing driver. He always has been ever since I first laid eyes on him back in 96, 97 when he first started racing stock cars at Southside and Langley Speedways and won both championships and both Rookie of the Years in the mini stock or the four-cylinder classes at both speedways. And he's just proven it all over again in the Cup Series. Every series he's ever jumped into an automobile, he's had some kind of success in, either Rookie of the Year or Champion, and so he's working.
Would you say he's one of the most successful NASCAR drivers ever?
Probably not that far yet, but I would not put it past him. He's working on it already with the 2 wins in his rookie season, winning Rookie of the Year in the Cup Series, and now, on the verge of probably having 4 victories this season to this point. And he's, looking down the throat of a couple more, because that car tomorrow, they really have it dialed in at Gibbs, and he's definitely the flagmeister for that one.
Fantastic. Now, were you involved with getting Denny Hamlin to race at Southside, and why is he racing at Southside Speedway?
Well, I made a few phone calls, mainly to his parents more than Denny, but Denny really, he wanted to do it. He was just gung-ho, and he had already told all his management and everybody at Gibbs, I want to go back and race at Southside, so I want to make sure my contract stipulates that I can be free to do that if I want to, and because he just loves the facility. It's where he got his first championships in stock cars, and where he won Rookie of the Year in late model stock car competition in 2000.
Now, has he actually won a late model race out at Southside?
No, he's got a couple of second place finishes, but he never got a feature victory in late model stock car competition at Southside.
That is, you know what, it's not because the man can't drive. We know that he can drive. It's just, I guess, that's racing for you. But people, you better stay tuned next Sunday to see if Denny Hamlin, driver of the number 11 FedEx...
He does the 11 FedEx Cup car, but the number 20
blue car,
R.J. Roberts painting automobile. Yep.
All right, folks. So you better be watching that number 20 car, because Denny Hamlin, he wants to win Talladega. He wants to win Lowe's Motor Speedway. He wants to win RR, but by golly, he wants to win at Southside Speedway.
Race number 2 on May 11th. Twin 50s for the Modified Series. Jason Eberth, Michael Johnson, Chris Hoylman. To there, outside of Hoyman, the 21 of Aubrey Thurston. Green flag racing time. The 19 of Kyle Wood starts 5th. That's your top 5 in starting order. Eberth in the 5 car. Looks for the break off of turn number 2 down the backstretch. These 2 cars battled it out for most of the first of the Twin 50s. Michael Johnson in the 38 car. The 5 car of Jason Eberth. Eberth off the corner, takes it down the front stretch. And Jason Eberth will be your leader right now. Eberth, a winner a couple seasons ago with his number 10 automobile, back this year with the number 5 car. Chris Hoyman looking to make a move on Michael Johnson. Johnson closing the door, heading down into turn number 3. The 38 car holding on to the 2nd spot. The 42 car, Chris Hoyman in the 3rd spot. The 21 of Aubrey Thurston in 4th. Mike Rudy battling out for the 5th right now, and this spot on the track in the number 8. With him, Kyle Wood back to the 6th spot right now, as everybody follows the leader right now. Jason Eberth, Thomas Stinson starting to make his way through the field. He won the first one. And he is coming from back in the field, trying to make his advance towards the front. Leader still Jason Eberth, the 5 car. Whoa, Michael Johnson caution coming out on the Southside Speedway. A little bit of an incident over in the corner. Christopher Johnson around over there. Looks like Tiger Williams getting a little bit of it, along with Lauren Lipford Jr. with only 4 laps complete. Jason Eberth, Michael Johnson, Chris Hoylman. It's up to Jason Eberth to go between the stripe he just crossed and the one at the exit of turn 4. He'll hit it right on the line on the turn 4 and down the front stretch. Eberth and Johnson take off, leaving a little bit of a gap back to Chris Hoylman, who has a rear view mirror full of Aubrey Thurston, working off of turn number 2 and down the backstretch. Your leaders down into turn number 3. Off of turn number 4, a little bit of old Nerf bar play to the outside. Mike Rudy's not trying to even work the inside. He's going straight to the top of the speedway, and he is already a half a car, 3/4 of a car, make it the whole car ahead of Aubrey Thurston. He drives it into turn number 3 on the outside of Hoylman. Car down on the inside. Those 2 cars battle it out week in and week out last year. They're back for it in 2007, and right now, instead of battle for the lead, which this usually was last season, it's a battle for 3rd. Still have to catch Michael Johnson in the 38 and the number 5 automobile of Jason Eberth. Johnson will look in his rearview mirror and see Big Red coming up. Here comes Stinson into the 3rd spot. Mike Rudy back to 4th now. Johnson running his own lap, trying to keep up with the number 5 automobile of Jason Eberth. But here comes Big Red down to the bottom of the speedway. Thomas Stinson now working off of turn number 2. Oh, 1 car going around, and that is the 50 car. Ryan Boggs, just talking about him earlier, how good that Richmond Alarm Company number 50 has been doing in the Modified Series his first year out. 16 laps complete. The 2 automobiles down the front stretch, closing in on the halfway mark. And Johnson now owes up into turn number 1. Car pushes up the track. Stinson takes the inside line. New 2nd place man. He's heading to the front. Big Red against the green machine. Aubrey Thurston, a little bit of a wiggle that time. Kyle Wood right behind him. Chris Wyman to his outside. Billy Morris in the tire tracks with them. 41 automobile right back behind those gentlemen is Rusty Wood. Billy Morris, Chris Wyman battle it out down the front stretch. Morris will take the spot down into turn number 1. We still watch for Thomas Stinson to try to make his move on your leader. Saw Mike Rudy do a lot of outside work, and caution coming out on the speedway. Whoa, a lot of action going on in turns 1 and 2. Looks like A.J. Winstead and Ryan Boggs finding each other over between 1 and 2. Here comes Ebreth and Stinson off of turn number 4 and down the front stretch. Their battle still ensues. Ebreth finally having to give way to Stinson down on the bottom of the speedway off of turn number 2 and down the backstretch. New leader, Thomas Stinson out front once again. May 11th at Southside Speedway. Stinson, Ebreth, Rudy, Wood, and Morris. Your top 5 automobiles. Thomas Stinson in at number 4 car. Flawless run all the way from the, I believe, the 7th or 8th starting spot for the number 4 car, all the way to the front of the field. And here comes Rusty Wood down on the bottom of the speedway underneath Mike Rudy. Sort of giving some of these drivers a little deja vu here, watching the 4 car. And a little bit of a touch. Around goes Ebreth. Billy Morris has to lock up the brakes. Cars making contact all over the speedway. All right, waiting for Stinson to make his break. He's going to do it right between turns 3 and 4. Thomas Stinson, Rusty Wood, the team cars leading the way. Double vision out front. Thomas Stinson, Rusty Wood. Track all to himself. You can see just lets off the throttle. Car settles right down the bottom of the track. Sets to the outside of Kyle Wood. Kyle gives him plenty of racing room down into turn number 1. Kyle's dad in close pursuit right behind them. Michael Johnson once again. Rear view mirror full of Chris Hoylman. A little bit of Nerf bar play right in the center of the corner. Hoylman was doing double duty last year in the late model Sportsman Series as well as this modified series. Had a couple of great runs at Shenandoah Speedway as well as other places. And here comes the 42 car to the bottom of the track. The KimMotors.com against the new Barbershop number 38 automobile. Off of turn number 4 and down the front stretch, Hoylman in the 42. Michael Johnson, the 2 made contact. Locking brakes up. Buddy Emery with a great save on the bottom of the speedway, but Michael Johnson and Chris Hoylman both end up not exiting turn number 1. Green flag coming back out as Stinson hits the throttle. Billy Morris in the 20s in 4th. Aubrey Thurston in the 21 in 5th right now. Buddy Emery right behind those automobiles. And there's Alan Marshall coming in the screen. He's running 7th in the 17 car. Good run for Allen. The number 4 automobile, though, Thomas Stinson having it his way. Only 9 more clicks left on the speedway as Mike Rudy cut speeds on by with Billy Morris right in his rearview mirror. Buddy Emery starting to work on the back end of the 21 Thurston Spring Service automobile of Aubrey Thurston. The 4 and the 41 car still out front. The battle ensues back through the field. One car making his way through the field pretty good. Jason Ebreth coming back all the way from 19th, from going from the 2nd spot all the way back to 19th and having to work his way back through the field. He's up in about 9th spot right now as the battle does come on for a 5th spot. Buddy Emery on the bottom of the speedway. Great tour competitor coming to Southside Speedway. The 44 car with the flames on it down on the bottom of the track. Buddy Emery to the outside to Thurston Spring Service number 21 of Aubrey Thurston. Now looking to the inside was Alan Marshall. Alan Marshall in that 17 car drives down in, keeps the car right on the bottom of the track. He and Aubrey would battle it out off of turn number 2 and down the backstretch. Looks like caution's coming out, so we'll revert back to the last green flag lap, which will give Aubrey Thurston back 6th spot. Rusty Wood, Mike Rudy, still your same front 3 as we await the restart. And there's Thomas Stinson hitting the throttle, and he pulls away by 3 car lengths over Rusty Wood. Wood trying to stay right on the deck lid of the 4 car, but not able to do so just yet. Stinson, the powerhouse, down the backstretch into turn number 3. Caution back out on the speedway one more time. And it's David Wheeler's number 27, Ace Electric automobile in the top of turn 3. Still 6 to go with Thomas Stinson, Rusty Wood, Mike Rudy, Your top 3 automobiles, 44 laps out of the 50 complete, only 6 more circuits. Thomas Stinson, Billy Morse runs 4th, 5th spot for Buddy Emery. Right behind them, Aubrey Thurston in the 21, Alan Marshall in the 17. And making his charge through the field, Jason Ebreth trying to get the 8th spot right now in the 5 car after leading much of the first half of this event. Buddy Emery trying to make the run now on the number 20 automobile of Billy Morris. Leaders see the white flag. Here we go. We'll follow your leaders around the track. Thomas Stinson and Rusty Wood, double vision, looking down into turn number 3. They're going to hit off a 4 to the stripe. Thomas Stinson, Rusty Wood, Mike Rudy, Billy Morris, and Buddy Emery, your top 5 in race number 2.